Hey everybody, I'm Belinda Sandor, also known as Rocket Girl. Today we're going to talk about how to set powerful goals for the new year. Hi everybody, Belinda Sandor here, also known as Rocket Girl. Today we're going to talk about how to set powerful goals. And one of the things that I do every year in my virtual assistant business is I set financial goals, right? Financial goals, because I want you to think about it for a second. A goal to have a new website, a goal to have X, Y, or Z, unless it's tied specifically to a financial goal, it's not going to get you where you want to be. Okay, so make sure that you're not avoiding the numbers. And I know math is not my favorite thing, and numbers for years and years were not my favorite thing, but I learned how to make numbers my friends enough that I could start to earn the money that I wanted to make. So we're going to dive into that a little deeper. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do, this is really important, is look at your hourly rate. Am I charging enough? Okay. Now, I know a lot of you think that the services you provide, there's sort of a guideline for how much you can charge for them. There really is not. All right. There are people who are charging $15 an hour who are updating websites, building websites, doing a great job. There are also people who are making $125 an hour who are doing the same thing. The quality of the work is not always tied to the number. Okay. And I'm sure you found that, I'm sure that in your life going to a mechanic or a dentist or, any kind of service provider, those two are not always correlated. Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to look at your hourly rate, and I want it to scare you a little bit. Okay. Not terrify you, but scare you. Like, can I charge more? Can I charge more? And here's how you test this. You raise your rates for new clients. So I don't want you to upset the whole apple cart. Let's say that you have 5 clients, okay, or 3 clients, or even 1 client, and you want to raise your rate. I want you to raise it for your next new client. Leave everybody else alone for a while. Keep that money coming in and keep that work flowing, and then raise it for your next, your next client, and the same, and for your next 3 or 4 clients. Prove to yourself, because it's only proving to yourself that people will pay you that amount, and then do it again. You can always adjust the people that are over here, but I want you to keep raising your rate. Okay, I want you to keep raising your rate, and then you'll find out where your sweet spot is. You'll definitely find out where that is. Now, the second thing I want you to do is I want you to decide how many hours you want to work, because one of the great things about being a VA is it doesn't have to be a full-time endeavor. Okay. So I want you to think about that. Now, I want you to think about the minimum that you want to work, and I want you to track all of your time. Okay. I want you to track all your time. And there is some math involved. And so that's why this is important. You want to decide ahead of time. If you're a VA and you're consistently getting 8-10 hours a week, it's really easy to just coast on that. But if you really want 15 hours a week to get to the revenue number that you're interested in, you've got to know, right? You've got to know. So make sure that you think about how many hours you want to be billable. There will be work in addition to that for working on your business. That's different. Billable hours refer to the number of hours that you can charge your clients. Right? You're actually doing work for them. Those are billable hours. And I know for a lot of us, that's a new concept because we've had jobs before, but that's something that you need to track. Okay. Now let's talk about the math. So you've determined your hourly rate. You've determined how many hours you want to work a week. You need to do some multiplication. So the hourly rate that you want to work multiplied by the number of billable hours equals how much money you will make if you fill your billable hours. Okay, that's critical. So to charge $70 an hour and only have 3 hours of work a week, when you want to make $70,000 a year, that math doesn't work. So it's important that you know the numbers. This is not hard math, right? This is just really simple. So what you do is you figure out, okay, this is my hourly rate. This is how many hours I have capacity for. This is how much I will make when I fill that capacity. Do I like that? Does that work for me? And then your job 100% is to fill those billable hours. And there's tons of ways to do that. We're going to talk about that in the VA Client Kickstart Challenge. So check to see when the next challenge is coming up. We'll talk about that in a minute. But that's how this works, okay? 100% how this works. You also want to track how much money is coming in. So track your hours. In a tool like Toggle, there's other tools that are free. Toggle is free, and track all of your billable time. So you know every week, did I hit my goal? Yes or no? Yes, great. No, let's turn up the volume on how I attract clients, okay? That's what the work is. Now, the other thing I want you to do is I want you to review your expenses. It's very easy to lose track of that as well, and to think, well, that's only $12, or that's only $15, or that's only this, that's only that. Yesterday, I was reviewing my income and expenses for last year, and there was an app that I didn't know if we were, I didn't think I was using it, and I looked into it, and it was $12.95 a month, and I could easily see where with my thriving, successful VA business, I could just overlook that. And in fact, I did. But at the end of the year, I looked, and that $12.95 was over $150 for the year. That's a number that gets my attention, right? So be careful. Don't buy tools that you don't need because you think you're going to need them. Be sure to invest in what you need when you have time to use it. So if you think that you need, you're going to sell a course online, right? That's what you decide you're going to do, or you're going to do, have webinars or whatever it is in the future. Here's an example. I thought that I was going to do a podcast about 5 years ago, and I bought Audio Acrobat, and I was paying every month $20, right? I don't know how much it is now, but back then it was $20. And it was like a gym membership I didn't want to let go of, because I thought if I cancel that, I'm not going to do a podcast. And then I was judging myself. So hundreds of dollars were given to Audio Acrobat when I wasn't even using it. So you get the tool when you need it and evaluate that every month, because I hadn't even done any work in it. I could have just stopped my membership and then started back up again when I was ready. Okay, so make sure you're not doing that, because we fool ourselves and we end up wasting money. Spending money on tools that you need to run your business, love that. Wasting money, hate that, really hate that. Okay, so I want you to think about, as a business owner, as a virtual assistant, what your financial goals are for the year and how you're going to reach them. I know the first year that I made $100,000, I had I'm trying to think what it's called. I think it's called MindMeister. It was a way for me to map it all out, and I put earn $100,000 or more in this year, and then I figured out all the ways I was going to do that. My email newsletter, networking, keep in touch emails, informational interviews, all the things that we talk about in the Kickstart Challenge and VA School, and all of the things I teach. All right, it's very consistent, the way that you get new clients. So know your numbers. If it scares you to know your numbers, have a friend help you. I definitely had a friend help me when I started to look at my numbers, because I didn't understand them. They scared me. And I thought that knowing my numbers was going to constrain me. I do not know what I was thinking about, but I thought, well, if I know my numbers, then I'm going to see how bad it is. Well, actually, knowing your numbers enables you to make a difference and help get those numbers up, if that makes sense. Okay. So Claire is here and she says, totally agree. Awesome. Yeah. So know your numbers, review your expenses. And it really is part of being a successful business owner. It really is. And again, numbers are still not that comfortable for me. I do get help with them. But it's really powerful, especially when the numbers start to go up. Those revenue numbers go up and your confidence builds. And the only way to know that is to track it. Okay, good. So before we go, I want to make sure that you know about the next VA Client Kickstart Challenge. We're kicking off on January 16th. If you want to know how to get a steady stream of clients in your business, attend this event. I promise I won't waste your time. We're going to give you actionable step-by-step instructions on how to grow your business. There's a workbook, there's points, there's prizes, there's all different kinds of fun ways to get your business off the ground. So I hope you'll join me. I want to just look and see what this Facebook user is saying. I think it's a shame that we associate with the numbers fear of the bad, like we are fixed instead of growth focused. Yes, that's really interesting because if you read a book called Mindset by Deborah Dweck, I think she talks specifically about that. It doesn't have to, you have to know your numbers because that's the reality. But but once you know the numbers, what I focus on are the billable hours. So I'm tracking the money that's coming in, but it's really my scoreboard is the billable hours. So I'm glad that you mentioned that. Yeah. And growing that for sure. But you do need to know your numbers because that's what pays the bills. That's what pays the bills. Teresa says, thank you. Hello, Teresa. It's good to see you here. Thank you so much. Okay, you guys, so jump into the Kickstart Challenge. You won't be sorry. Even if you've done it before, I'd love to have you again. Even if you're in VA school, no matter where you are with me in your journey, you are 100% welcome to come. And we're getting everything ready right now. There's a pop-up Facebook group that you can find once you sign up. And just go over to vachallenge.info and join me. We're going to have a lot of fun. All right. You guys have a great day. I'm Belinda Sandor, Rocket Girl, signing off for now. Bye.